everyone, John here, slingshotfutures.com, and welcome to the Market Mindset, where we dig into the reasoning behind the moves today so that we can better understand tomorrow. And today, there's a couple things that we need to preface with that we came into the room today just sort of going over. First of all, it's the end of the month, right? It's the last day of the month. So any monthly levels that we run into are going to be a big level of interest. It's also, kind of, at least, a holiday. It's October 31st, one of my favorite holidays. It's Halloween. So with all of that said, we look over at the volume and think, well, you know, the volume is really low too, and there's no news today. So there's a lot of reasons to want to be in early and get out early because of the lack of potential movement that we have on schedule for today. A lot of people are going to be coming in, getting their trading done, and then calling it a day and getting their kids ready to go trick-or-treating if they didn't this past weekend. So looking at the gold, it fit kind of perfectly with what we saw. We're expecting today to be relatively slow, and usually when things are slow, it's anticipated to be a range. We started off the day looking back at yesterday with a big move higher here on Friday, and we opened gap down. Now, we opened gap down after a huge rally higher, very shallow pullback kind of run. There are going to be a lot of buyers that are super juiced up and wanting to buy that, thinking that, well, this is just a pullback and a big move. So I'm looking to jump in, and I want to see buyers swarm back up to the highs. And to make it even better, we also form a very strong first candle of the day, bearish. In the context, that would be taking a bear trend in an otherwise very strong bullish move. That is a beautiful reason to not only become a buyer for obvious reasons of buying a pullback, but you're also trapping in sellers. And that creates kind of just a picture-perfect 1-2 punch. So we were looking at buying into the move there, looking for a move back up towards the highs. Unfortunately, as you can see, it didn't quite make it up there, but before that run higher, we formed another beautiful bounce with the sellers that tried getting in. They were obviously exiting their positions, realizing they messed up a little bit, and that allowed for a quick bounce to the highs, but it didn't quite make it to the objective that we were looking for before turning back through the lows. Now, this turn back through the lows, the context hasn't changed. We're still very bullish, and now we have a little bit of a range sentiment on our hands. So we're looking at a possibility of fading the lows of the range, adding to the position if you didn't exit the couple longs already, and looking for the move back up towards the highs. The one caveat to this now is that instead of looking for major objectives to fill the gap up here, although they may still get them, we're now obviously dealing with a range, especially if they cycle off of the lows. We're looking for the buyers to want to come up and tap an area of resistance instead. So a beautiful third bounce off of those lows for a move back up into obvious resistance. We push into obvious resistance. The buyers tried pushing outside of it. Very likely now the buyers they've used all of their ammo. They bought the lows. They've been buying the lows. They maybe even tried buying the high side breakout. We know that the buyers just don't have that much ammo left in the container to be able to fire off more longs if we're closing bullish at the highs. It doesn't make any sense. Especially given the range type sentiment, this is starting to appear as though we are very weak, and it's likely that sellers are going to start coming in. The buyers make an attempt one more time at the highs, completely fall apart, and that is a beautiful reason to become a seller at the highs and drive the market down for a quick scalp. It followed that move up. It went bull engulfing, I guess if you want to call that a bull engulfing. The candle is, well, a poor excuse is an understatement for a bull candle, and it turned right back down and went solid bearish again, almost closing on its lows. Another very good sign that the buyers are overdone. If they are going to want to come in, they're going to want to come in at a better price. They don't want to buy way up here anymore. They want to buy the pullbacks, and that is a gorgeous reason to become a seller for a short side move to finish off the morning session. So just a beautiful example of kind of looking at the context of the day. We have a holiday. It's the end of the day. Along with that, the volume is low and there's no news. There's nothing really telling us that we should expect some big explosive move. And then to add another catalyst to that, next week is the elections. So everybody is early in, early out. Nobody wants to hang out into the afternoon. And that allowed for a beautiful morning session, and then it completely died going in towards the afternoon. So hopefully you traded it well today. Hopefully you had a good day of trading and you found this interesting and useful, and maybe you learned a little bit something from it too. If you have any questions about it, you can always send me an email, jbrink@slingshotfutures.com. But until tomorrow, enjoy the rest of the month as it lasts, and we will see you all later.